Welcome back to
Clearly, I'm super more excited than she is.
Hanging with Sid and T.
Hanging
I don't
with
know.
Sid and T.
I'm not low energy, am I?
No, you're not. I'm just kidding.
I was just jamming out in the car on the way here.
Yeah, monkey, dance monkey, donkey monkey, dance monkey, some shit like that. But that's a whole different day topic.
So no guests today, just us.
Just us, and I hope you enjoy our pod as much as you do with our guest. But if not, we're here.
We're just as insightful.
Yeah, we are gonna be here today.
Yeah, I'm gonna start this one out heavy.
Oh, heavy.
With something that I heard the other day on a video. It was one of these guys running around, and he's like, "Give me the best piece of advice you've ever heard." How did he word it? Okay, if I gave you $1 million right now, would you want it? If I offered you $1 million, would you take it?
What's the catch?
Would you take it?
Yeah, all day.
Okay. What if I told you you wouldn't wake up tomorrow?
Well, I bought a house for my mom in one day, cash money.
So you would still take it?
Hell yeah.
Okay, never mind.
If you got $1 million, if I gave you $1 million today, would you take that? And the catch is you don't wake up tomorrow morning.
No.
Why not?
Because I wouldn't have enough time to spend it or live with it. And then the guy was like, "You just said that your life is worth more than $1 million.
Yeah, I mean,
take that and run with it." But you ruined it. You ruined me trying to do it too.
Oh my bad.
Do you even get it?
I mean, yeah, I do get it.
Whatever.
But it's like for me, at the end of the day, I still feel like I can still get so much done if I have a full 24 hours.
I don't think I care about anybody that much to just take it and not have any of it.
Still accomplish a lot in one day with $1 million. Especially when you have $1 million. I mean, shit, you can accomplish a lot.
And then you have no more days.
Right, but it all depends on who you're accomplishing what for. Hours is way more than the time we need to make this money double for your son for the future. We can invest it, we can buy him a house, we can set him up for everything he needs.
Maybe if it was like 10 billion.
I mean, of course, the more millions you have, the less and less value it has. Because the more and more shit you can figure out what to do with, and the less your life value is.
Nobody needs that much money.
Exactly.
They said, what's the money guy? Bill Gates?
Yeah.
That like he could basically, he could fix most of the world's problems, and it wouldn't even hurt him financially. He could end world hunger. He could build schools, and
it is true, and that's why he's doing a lot of that stuff.
Is he?
He is in third world countries, but it's not as scaled
as it should be.
Dude,
think about if you had that. What's the first thing you would do if you had $1 million handed to you? What's the first thing you would do?
Cash money. I'm buying a nice house for my parents. Spend $500,000 in there, right there. Done. Half my money is gone.
What's the next thing?
Next thing is invest the rest of the money.
In what?
Stocks, real estate. You can do a lot of investing in a lot of different things. Shit, I can help one of my other friends who have a good, solid business plan.
Yeah.
And invest a little bit in their business.
Yeah.
I can do that. And all I need is 2 hours with them.
You wanna know what I would do?
What?
$1 million? First thing I'm doing is hopping on a flight. And nobody will see me for at least a month. A beautiful beach.
Which is where?
Peace and quiet. Probably out the country somewhere. On a little resort.
Do you have like a little...
Yeah, I have like a list of places. I'd love to go like...
Don't say Greece.
Like Maldives, like...
It's Maldives.
Maldives?
Yeah.
Where else?
It's divas, not divas. Sorry.
If it's got clear water, I'm going.
Right.
If I can see in the water, that's where I want to go. Like I got all these videos saved of like people are like the most beautiful place in da da da. I'm like, save because I'll be there.
Right, but as much as I know you, you like to play with baby water. So like having clear waters is not even like what would you get going to the beach
I just
forever till like somebody cannot find you
peace and quiet. That's all
in
I
the
want.
baby water.
What do you mean?
Like, like the 2 feet water.
I would lay on the beach. I'd probably, you know what I really like is they're like little condos, but it's like it'll be like this really long dock.
Yeah.
And there's branches out to these little
Right.
condos, and like
Mhm.
half of them are like outside, and there's like an outside bed.
Right.
I just want to nap outside
Yeah.
and look at the water all day.
Okay.
I
Okay.
could do that for months,
Okay.
and then I'll be ready to come home. I need a vacation that lasts so long that I'm ready to work after.
And you don't feel like, hey, after a vacation, I need another vacation.
Right.
I still think, regardless of whether I'm alive or dead, I still feel like the first thing I would do is buy real estate.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So first thing I'm doing, trip. While I'm there, I'm gonna start looking for the properties, because that's when we're gonna start snatching up some little properties.
Yeah.
I'm gonna buy them cash.
Yeah.
I'm gonna fix them up. Probably Airbnb them, because I love Airbnbs, and then I can decorate it how I want and stuff. Versus like a rental where I just have to
keep it neutral.
Yeah. I want to have fun with it. I want it to be a cute theme. You know.
Yeah.
Paint it black and like make it crazy.
Black and white theme.
Like the outside of the house black. That's what I really want, like a matte black house. And have the inside just be like crazy colorful or something. I don't know. I'd have so much fun with some Airbnbs.
Yeah, you would.
So I'd probably drop about, let's say I dropped 30 on the trip. And then I'm going to drop about 400 on properties, so I can start getting some of that income back immediately.
Yeah.
And then from there, maybe meet a couple people who got some business. I'd be a little angel investor. Throw out a little 5-10 here and there to some people who have a legitimate business plan.
Investing in local businesses, like you said, like the angel investors. So I would do that only with well-established business. Like, at least you have to have that business. You have to be in that business for at least minimum of 5 years.
Yeah, and they just need a little
push. Yeah. Right. Because what I see in there is like, hey, if you have like tried to stick it out for 5 years, then I know it. You are willing to do anything it takes.
Yeah, they're not going anywhere.
Right. Because like, a lot of people are like, oh my god, I've been doing this for a whole year now, dude. A year is nothing. You just unpacked your boxes for
literally,
a whole year.
Yeah.
Literally, right?
Just put your name out.
Right. Exactly. So for me, if I had to target those kind of things, it would be mostly for businesses who have been in the business already for at least 5 years.
Yeah.
Before they get my money. Now, of course, you got to come up with a good business plan too.
Yeah.
Don't just come to me, hey, I've been here for 5 years, I need your money. No.
Yeah. And I wouldn't do a lot, you can only handle so much risk at a time.
Right.
Smaller amounts too. Yeah. But of course, first, be investing in myself.
So tell me about this. Let's say with your $1 million, okay, you do take your trip, but when you come back and you have an agent like myself calling you from California, like, hey man, I have like a $600,000 home. You can get good Airbnb money out of it or a good rental income out of it. Would you do it?
Yeah, but I probably wouldn't pay cash. I'd put some down and get a loan for the rest. So I'm not tying up all my actual money into it.
Okay, yeah, and that's a good thing.
Maybe half and half.
Yeah, that's a good thing actually. And especially if it does make you money at the end of the day, then you can use that same money to pay it off.
Mortgage
and if you make more money, then yes, avoid that interest totally, and you're making more.
Right. I'd be stingy for sure. I would spend it slow.
Right, yeah, I think so too. Yeah. I would do the same.
And there'd be an amount that goes somewhere and doesn't move.
Right.
Like at least
an FD or something, yeah.
Like 150 for emergencies.
Right, and when you think long term, 150 is nothing.
Yeah, just in case.
Yeah, just in case, like you want that money to be in a savings account or an FD or a CD.
Emergency buy a house.
Right.
Like, I don't know.
You want to make sure you get more return on those while it's sitting around. And we all know banks in general do not give too much returns on your money. So that's why you should put that 150 in real estate.
Mattress.
Don't do that. Deposit that money. Please do not leave money hanging under your mattress.
Carve a hole in the side of your mattress and bury the money inside it until your mattress is fully stuffed with $1 bills.
Right, but it would only work if you were not in America.
And then take that mattress to the bank and tell them you want to buy a house.
And it would not work because they would ask you, where did that money come from?
I say, don't worry about it.
They would tell you, where did that money come from?
They work.
And how
Been
do
saving
you,
it up.
do you have your proof of income?
No.
Then the money is not working.
How do you know?
Because I just know if you don't have money, if you don't have a paper trail or some kind of trail,
it's all the money I got for my birthdays.
that would be a hell of a birthday.
Birthday money saved up. Yeah, put that on silent.
Yeah, I know.
Disrespectful.
I know. My bad. I'm sorry. Tell me a little bit about your whole transition from being, single to having a baby and now being a single mom.
Baby mama.
Like, how do you manage your work life? How do you, make sure that your son gets what he needs from you?
We're getting right in there, huh? So yeah,
I mean, sure.
It's crazy. No, and really, I feel like it's something I should talk about more because I'm
Because there are many single moms.
Yes, and I'm friends with a lot of single moms and a lot of just young moms in general. And like literally the first year of baby's life, everybody's going through the same exact situation.
Right.
Like the same, trying to manage everything. So I'm on my son's 2, so I'm 2 years in, which I feel like I got a little experience under my belt. But for me personally, being single worked out because I care way too much about people, that I care about. Like I get super invested in becoming a mom. I had to care so much about my son. So there almost wasn't room
to care about others.
Anyone else.
Right.
Like, to focus that much time into like the way that I am in a relationship, which is very engaged. So I, definitely spread myself way too thin. And I feel that being single, I've been able to put a lot more focus now on myself again, which I wasn't able to do because I'm alone again in my head, in my space where I can think. So you get in a little funk and sometimes it's hard to get out. So I feel like now being alone more definitely helps me navigate, and working on my patience and just like being present. Like those have been the 2 most important things: patience and presence. Because especially a mom of a little one, they will literally just, overstimulate you all day long, like just running around. And my brain is on 100. I try to, we work when we don't have him, but like I'll try to get some stuff done. Or if I have like a client that just like wants to talk in the middle of the day, I almost can't if I have him because I don't know, I just don't feel right taking my focus off him when that's my time with him, So I try to really clearly set that boundary of this is mom time and this is work time, because trying to do it all at once, it messed me up, made me very, very stressed. And I feel like that's the big thing, being patient, not just with him, but with myself, and saying, okay, I don't have to do 5 million things a day.
Right.
He takes a 2-hour nap and I'm trying to do 55 things. And then I'm like shutting down because I'm like, that's not realistic. I didn't put a realistic schedule for myself today. So really just like taking a step back and trying to not do so much has been the best thing for me. And then, better things come out of it. I've stepped back from work a little bit and now we're doing a pod. And I like this. This is like a creative outlet too. It's not just work. It's like,
yeah,
we're hanging out, we're talking. And that's good. Gotta have some,
for sure,
a common ground that's, so stepping back from work a little bit helped that.
And I admire that you have such strict boundaries, and prioritizing your son and having your son in general has helped you set those boundaries and prioritize and set that clear expectations, right?
Yeah.
For me, like, as much as I would like to be focused as much as I would like to have set boundaries. I do not have that. And and I wouldn't say Hendrix is an excuse,
It's a reason.
but it's a good
It is.
reason,
It's
right?
also an excuse.
Right.
You know,
But
like
on the other hand, what am I supposed to say? I have a dog.
right,
Gotta take care of.
right. Yeah.
Like
And
it is
I
very
use
hard.
excuse very loosely because,
Right.
you know, yes, I do need a break from work, but also being a parent is not by any means a break. And, you know, and moms, we tend to like beat ourselves up before being so exhausted by the end of the day. Or even 4 o'clock comes around and I'm like, oh my gosh, I still have like 5 more hours of the day, and then you start to feel guilty, and it's a cycle that does happen every single day,
Yeah.
literally. But you know, it's all about like grounding myself and being present, and
Right.
and then I take some breaths, and I'm like, you know what? He's only going to be little for so long, so I am soaking up this time as much as I can, because in 5 years he's not going to care about me as much. He's not gonna want to be my best friend anymore. He's gonna have his own best friends and
Correct. Yeah.
school and
Especially
live
when
life.
especially when he goes to school.
Yeah.
And that is true. Like for me, I don't have set boundaries, especially when it comes to work. Like I was freaking working last night at 11 o'clock.
And you didn't go to bed till like 3 in the morning. So
Right.
I feel like you were probably working later than
Right.
that.
I was too. And like sometimes I feel like that is a very bad thing that I don't have that set boundaries. But on the other hand, like if I'm not doing that at that time, what else am I doing? Right?
Yeah.
Now, if I do have something important, like this one, this is important for me. So that's why my phone is away, right? I try not to use my phone. Of course I did, but I do my best to not do it.
Yeah.
Same thing if I'm at church, if I'm with my family, I try my best to not entertain clients.
Yeah.
Especially if it's something that has been planned beforehand. Like,
Right.
hey, Saturday night I'm going to be doing this, this, this. Then I set that expectation beforehand.
Yeah.
But like if Friday I pick up a new client and Saturday I have nothing going on but just hanging out with friends and it's not
Right.
important, like all you'll see me do is entertaining that client.
Yeah.
Because it's not that I don't think that my friends are important or my family is important, but I feel like at that time that client takes priority in my life.
Right.
Because I'm like, dude, you're already here, I'm already here, we're gonna hang. Let me deal with
Yeah.
what the client needs and then we'll talk about what you need.
Right. And at the end of the day, that pays your bills. You know that.
I mean, it
That's
does.
you placing your priorities, which is
Right.
good.
It does.
And,
It does.
and I feel like, you know, this is the one thing that does upset me. I feel like people look at single moms or stay-at-home moms because I don't know. I kind of consider myself a stay-at-home mom because I am most days.
Yeah.
You know, but outside of that, you know, I'm doing my stuff. But I feel like people look at that like lazy, or like people are like, oh, she just stays home with the kid all day, like you're just sitting home all day, when those days I am so much more exhausted than a day that I work all day.
Yeah.
So much more. I mean, think about, and there's no way to even like really make it make sense to somebody who's not doing it, but like, you know, just think about like how much you take care of yourself and then times that by 50, and now you have to do it for you and someone else. You
Right,
know,
yeah.
I had a friend like during the pandemic, she was like, I am literally drowning. I don't know how people with kids are surviving right now. I'm like, babe, we're not.
Right.
Like-
And that's what, like, sometimes when I think about those kind of situations where where I'm like prioritizing work before my personal life, I always think about men, all these other people who have families, who have kids, who are like set, like, hey, these are my boundaries.
Yeah.
This is how I work. If you want to work with me, work with me. Otherwise, go find
Right.
somebody else. I admire that.
Yeah.
Like, I wish I could do that for myself, and maybe I can.
And I think
And maybe
you will.
things will change when I have my own kids.
Right. Scrolling on social media, like I'll even like it'll be like we're laying down for a minute, like and he's watching a movie or he's eating breakfast or something, and that's when I try to like get on for a minute, talk to my
Right.
people, respond to a few messages, because I know that I couldn't sit there and do like a strategy for a client with Hendrix around. I couldn't, because my like hyper focus, I cannot do that. Like,
Yeah.
and I swear it's like the second I sit down at my computer, he's here.
Right.
He doesn't pay any attention to me half the time, I feel like, until that moment where I'm like, okay, he's very relaxed today. Let me go ahead and try to do this. And then I'm upset with myself because I'm like, why did
I
I
should
even
have
try?
known. I should
Yes,
have
I
known.
know that I'm not
Right.
supposed to work these days.
Right. And it's crazy you said that, because in real estate, what I've noticed is every time when I have personal stuff going on and I take a day off or I need time off, everyone in the
Flocks to
world
you, yeah.
wants to see a house, wants me to
I
do
know.
something with them with real estate. And I'm like, I was here like 6 months ago.
Yeah.
Curse or a blessing or a learning moment. Like, I don't know what it turns
It's
out to
hard.
be, because every situation ends up in a different roller coaster, right?
Yeah.
At least for me.
That's the thing. It's hard waters to navigate, and it's always going to change. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like right now, my situation is going to be very different than a year from now,
Right.
or 2 years when he's in school. It's going to look totally different. You know,
Correct.
so like sometimes I'm just getting through the day.
Yeah,
I'm
exactly.
getting through the week. I'm planning my week schedule at a time, getting through it, and then we'll see what happens after that.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think from also I do listen to a lot of other like women in business with kids. I used to be really into like, some podcasts that some moms do, because that's the huge topic, because like you're not just mom. You're the appointment person, you're the cook, you're the maid, you're this, you're that, you're the boss, you're the money, you're the income. You know what I mean? You're everything. And so literally, like when people are talking about like work life balance, like there isn't one.
Right.
I'm always mom, and I'm always the business owner.
Right.
So just trying to divvy up that time as best as possible is.
Yeah, and I'm glad you mentioned this whole there's no work life balance, because like,
and also
people
because we're doing something that we enjoy
doing,
you know?
and that is the biggest keyword, is enjoy doing it, like, because you don't take it as a job. You don't take it as your 9 to 5. Oh my god, I have to do this, I have to make it work, and I have to, we don't think like that, because we enjoy doing it. And that's why for you, like, dealing with
it's
clients,
not like, oh my gosh, I don't want to answer this client. It's
Right.
like, I know I'm not going to be able to give her 100% and give him 100% right now, so I need to wait until I can.
Right.
And that's why I try to be very. I think another part is, about who you're working with. That's why, like, when it comes to like your target audience and stuff, I know I like to work with moms because we understand each other's schedule, the chaos of it, and if we don't answer, there's something going on.
Right.
So choosing people to work with that aren't difficult for you and your schedule. And that understand, like, I'm not ignoring you. I'm just waiting until I can give you my undivided attention, because I'm not going to perform my best when I'm pouring from a half empty cup.
On the other hand, like, you have that kind of clients and the luxury in the kind of business you're in to have that flexibility of, hey, if I don't call T back in like the next 10 minutes or 30 minutes, she'll be okay. She will still call me back.
You're in a little bit of urgency, which I feel like is why I had no choice but to put real estate on the back burner. I'm not going to say it's, not ever going to come back, but right now it was just not realistic, because I can't answer at 8 o'clock at night.
Right.
I can't answer in the middle of making dinner. Like, it's, so I did, I like what I do, and I found a way to do it on my time and my schedule. So I feel like that is what's important. And I feel this is a good time to bring up just the fact that, like, like we said, we're doing what we enjoy. I just hate that people think that you can't love something and it be your job. You know what I mean? Like, whether you're making pottery, like, I guarantee you sit down at the TV at the end of the day and you make something. That doesn't feel like work, but that's your work.
Right.
You've just found a way to make money off doing what you love, and that's what's important. Is like, not, all right, how am I going to make the most amount of money while living a somewhat decent life? Like, if you love something, do it and figure out how to make money with it. You know what I mean?
And you know what? At the end of the day, if you don't make money out of it, guess what? You made yourself happy.
Yeah, you're still
investing
in
your own time, investing for yourself,
and it could turn into something.
Right. Yeah. I know a couple of people who do stuff at home, like just as hobbies, and I always encourage them. I'm like, look, you're already doing all this work. Sell this stuff. People like me will buy this stuff. People who, and when I say like me, if you guys don't know me yet on a personal level, I am so not creative. Crafts is one of my It's not even on my list. My friend's wife does all the
Paints.
paintings.
Yeah.
And I go crazy with the amount of detail and love and time that that lady puts into her work.
Right.
And I'm just like, dude, if I could do even 1% of what you're doing, my house would look totally different, you
Yeah.
know? And they don't realize it because she's doing it every day.
Right.
But when an outside perspective sees it and you talk to other people about it, they're like, oh my God, she does that? Oh my God, what? Oh my
And
God.
then
And
little
the
do you
next
know,
thing
you
you
have
know,
5 customers.
right, exactly.
I feel
And
it's sad because I feel like there's such a big stigma on art as a profession. If you do something you love, you can't have both.
right,
And it's not true.
it's not
It's just
true.
it's how much time you're willing to put into it. You might have to work another job for a
Job,
little
right.
while you get it going, but it's all about how hard you're willing to work for it. It
Correct.
doesn't
Yeah.
happen overnight for anybody.
Right, exactly. Like simple thing like PCs, right? My husband built PCs for a living.
Yeah.
Every time I talk to him about prospective clients, new clients, before he even got into it full time, his whole attitude was like, in this little town, how many people are buying $10,000 worth of computers?
Right.
Or computer parts, or who wants to have a
You're
four or
like,
five
hey,
thousand
we have
dollar
this
computer?
little tool called the internet,
Right.
where there's billions of people wanting to buy what you sell.
Exactly.
You
And
just
that's what I
have to
tell him.
find
You
them.
just got to find the right people.
And yeah, it's hard.
Who will do or appreciate the work that you're doing and just showing off what you do. And a lot of people are not good at it. Like, I'm not just going to blow my own trumpets and go out there and be like, yeah, man, I did this with real
Yeah.
estate. I did this, I showed this home. I showed that home. I'm not going to always do that. But sometimes certain business require you to do that,
Yeah.
if not on a daily base, at least on a weekly base,
Right.
to put yourself out there so people think of you more as
Yeah.
a person in that profession,
Yeah, and that's like what we were talking about, small town versus like a city, like how they're doing vendor events here
Right.
almost every weekend. People in my town don't have that opportunity to go put their products out every
Right.
weekend, so they have to resort to the internet
Craigslist
marketing.
and Etsy.
Yeah, Etsy, or they're doing content marketing,
Right.
because then maybe then people, sometimes you gotta move to do what
right.
you want to do. Sometimes that's the only option.
Right, yeah.
It's just all about how bad you want it.
Comes to time, a lot of other thing that I've noticed is people give up real fast.
Yeah.
Whether it's real estate, whether it's
Life,
retailing,
anything, anything.
opening a boutique, opening a waxing center, whatever, opening like a eyebrow threading center. It could be anything. People tend to give up so much faster because they feel like that's so much easier than actually putting in the work. Whether it's, and I'm not gonna say that people don't put in their 100%.
Yeah, but it's
But
so
sometimes
easy to get
you need
discouraged.
110
Right.
to make the results happen.
It's really easy to get discouraged if you don't see those results right away.
Right.
And I feel that people need to be prepared to not see
Correct.
results right away. Because I remember like years ago they were saying, don't expect to make a profit for your first year. Now they're saying like your first 3 years.
First 3 years.
Literally.
Right.
So you have to go into it knowing this is going to be a long game.
Right.
This is your life though. It's it's not something you want to rush. Then what? You have this huge successful business, and now what? Take your time. It's a marathon, not a race.
Exactly. Yes, I've been failing, but how much as a person,
Right.
as a business owner, have I grown to which that will help me next year? Like, people don't think about it long term. People always think about, I want to do the work now. I want to get paid now. I want the results now. I want to be viral now. I want to go famous now.
Destination addiction.
Right.
I have it for sure, and it's tough.
It is tough. I mean, and you know what? I will not lie and say I don't have it. There's certain days I want like
everything.
I want everything.
Yeah.
I'll make a reel and I want 1 million views the same day.
I know.
And then it's not realistic.
Yeah.
But
that's when I try to remind myself, like, 5 years ago, me would be so proud of me now, just for the simple fact of the knowledge I've gained.
Right.
Forget any material things.
Right.
Just how far I've came mindset wise.
Last step, I see you right here next to me, but it's not.
And I've been seeing more and more lately of all these people who are like talking about, now I have all this, or now I have all this money, now I have all these things, and I'm like, what's next?
Right.
And I hate that because I absolutely don't. It almost makes me appreciate the journey more. It's like I don't want to get to that point. Like I never want to feel like that. I want it to be just perfect timing that I'm like, we're here, we're comfortable, and now we can do this. You know what I mean? I feel like if you having so much pressure on just like this one thing happening and I'll be happy, it's dangerous.
Putting a lot of pressure on you situationally is very, very bad because
Yeah.
it influences you to do a wrong thing that you're
Yeah.
not expecting to
Yeah,
do.
and shifts
Or you
your
never
focus
right
from that big why
to like the little whys that don't matter.
right the
Yeah.
little things that just might be more convenient, but they really don't affect your
Make
day
a
to day.
big term and return. Yeah. And that is so true. That is so true.
I feel like another thing is like people who go into business or whatever it is, starting a business, whatever you're doing, is putting all that pressure on yourself to do everything. And I very quickly was like, overwhelmed by the amount of things I had to do. So that's when I was like, outsourcing is extremely important, whether it be some help with graphics or, hiring a marketing team or this or that, whatever it is. But not relying on yourself to do everything because that's so unrealistic.
That is so true. And and this goes out to all like new business owners. All new business owners. I have a new business owner in my family right now, and all he can think of is I can do all this by myself. If I don't have you,
Don't.
it's okay. I can manage it. And what happens a month from now, a week from now, he gets so drained that he cannot even
Yeah.
function.
You might be able to handle it,
Right.
but you're going to be tired. You're not going to be able to
Exactly.
handle anything else.
Exactly. And then what happens is his business takes a toll because
Yeah.
he cannot give that customer service that he always promised. The
Yeah.
the consistency that comes with that promise.
Might be possible with like 2 customers,
Right.
but anything past that,
you're just like
possible.
tapping out
You
every
have
time.
to divvy tasks.
Right.
up.
And that's something that he's learning is how can I how can he designate some of the workload without losing control of the business, because that's what a lot of business owners
They're
think.
scared to give
Like
up
if I
any
give
power.
you this directions and you do this, then I have no control over that material
Yeah.
or that process, and now I don't know what is going on.
As a
And I'm a
control
new
freak,
business
I
owner,
get it.
and I need to know everything,
Yeah.
right? I mean, there are some people who are control freaks and they're freaks period, but on the other hand, like some people just overthink it.
Yeah.
They just it's
It's
not
not
that they're
that serious
control
at
freaks.
the
They
end of the
just
day.
don't trust other
Right.
people.
You have to
They just
loosen
think
some
right.
reins up.
They just think like they can do it better than anybody else.
Yeah.
No matter who it is in front of them.
And of course, if you're like in a craft, you do your main thing. And I feel like it's just about finding like, okay, what can be handled by like literally anybody?
Right.
Are you trying to create all this stuff and then also manage an email list?
Right.
Like just hand that off to someone.
Correct. Yeah.
Proofread it, double
Right.
check it, do whatever you need to do. But like, it's not worth stressing about making sure everything is so perfect because I'm also a perfectionist. So it was like really scary to
Yeah.
give that power up. But I'm like, okay, also your, say it's marketing. You might not have any knowledge in it, and you think you do because it's your business and you know how you want to market it, but you still don't know as much as a professional marketer.
Right.
Give some of that power up, let a different perspective in, and maybe it'll actually be really, really beneficial.
Correct.
You're getting a different hand on it, and I think that's important too, because having too much control
can drive you crazy.
Yeah.
And having too many chickens in the bowl is also crazy.
Too many chickens in the bowl?
What is that phrase?
That is not a saying. Too many chickens in the bowl. Do you mean what is it like? Too many chickens in the coop?
Too many chickens in the coop. Got that right. Okay, yeah.
Don't cut.
So anyway, yeah, don't cut that. Cut that part.
No, don't cut it.
But anyway, like a lot of business owners will think, oh, I have too many hens in the pot, right? Or too many chickens in the coop. But at the end of the day, if those chickens, if those hens
if they're
are
good
helping
hens,
you
let them
grow, then why not?
Right.
If you can still maintain your sanity, have your family time, have your business time, have your personal time,
yes,
then why not?
Because that's what it boils down to. Like, would I rather care so much that my graphics are perfect, as in the way that I would have made them myself? Or do I care that the client's happy, I'm happy, I have more time to communicate with them, you know?
Yeah, exactly. Oh, this chicken thing threw me off though.
Yeah, too many chickens in the bowl.
Better be some big old chicken bowl.
Oh my goodness.
But anyway,
All
yeah.
right, we keep getting back to business.
Yeah,
I'm
I know.
trying
We are
so
talking
hard
too much
not
businessy.
to.
Yeah, but
Talked about something personal-ish.
personal-ish.
What's your fun fact?
My fun fact is I can speak 5 different languages.
That is fun.
Yeah.
What are they?
That is fun. English, Swahili. Swahili is like East African Tanzanian language, native language. So, like people sing Hakuna Matata, from The Lion King.
Yes, I know the song.
Yeah, that song is in Swahili. Those words are Swahili.
What's the? Can you translate?
Hakuna Matata.
What's that mean?
No worries.
Oh.
English, Swahili, Gujarati. Gujarati is like North Indian language. That's where my ancestors are from. Ancestors, fourth
Like
grandfathers.
decades ago. Okay.
That's where they're from. And then Hindi is I wouldn't say it's like the national language of India, but it's spoken majority of the places. Like people can conversate with you.
Yeah.
And I had to learn that language simply because I love Indian movies. So it kind of to understand that I had to learn it. And then Urdu is the Pakistani version of the language.
Okay.
So,
question. Okay, so the best way to explain this is with Spanish, because there's multiple Spanishes.
Correct.
Different.
Yeah.
Do any of those overlap the same?
Yes,
yeah.
all of them overlap.
But would you still have trouble understanding one versus the other sometimes?
Yes.
Yeah.
There would be, especially if some people who are not fluent in Hindi, they would not understand what what Urdu is saying.
Yeah.
Because those those dialects are more interchangeable or more similar than Gujarati and Hindi. We can definitely understand and pick up some words, but if you talk to a person who has never spoken Hindi, they would have zero idea of what you're saying.
Yeah. Interesting.
And I have my cousin, one of my cousins, he speaks our mother tongue, like Gujarati.
Yeah.
All the time. But if I show him a clip from Bollywood, he'll be like, what the hell was this? To answer your questions, yes, there are different dialects, just in different locations.
5 languages.
Yeah, 5 languages. And I'm learning ASL.
You got something to show?
Yeah, my name.
Show for it. Let's see it.
TAHERA.
I would love to. I know that this means.
Maybe I was wrong.
This means pop.
Pop? Like soda pop?
Yeah.
Huh.
Someone taught me.
I know this is
some
bullshit.
point in my life. Of course, you know that one.
Bullshit.
Yeah, I think that's a good one to know.
Yeah, and I've tried learning Spanish multiple times before.
I take breaks because it hurts my brain.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I just felt like when I was actually trying to learn Spanish, I felt like my brain was just on an overload of languages.
So many languages. Yeah, I was gonna ask, did you learn most of these when you were younger?
Yes.
Yeah.
I
feel like it's so much easier to learn when you're younger.
All of them.
Like when I do Duolingo, I have Hendrik sitting with me. I'm like, I'm learning this. You better take some notes too. I might as well teach you while you're young. Because he'll be fluent in Spanish, and I can't hardly
you'll
say
be surprised. He'll be starting to teach you now.
Yeah, because he's learning English.
Right.
I feel like I should be teaching him all.
You should, because that is so helpful.
Yeah, it's just
learning languages at an early age.
I think the more people you can communicate with is just I think sign language is huge. I would really love to know sign language.
Yeah, I mean, sign language is something that I came up after I was talking to one of my friends in the military, because he learned it when he was in school. Have nothing but ASL to lean on.
Yeah. When it comes to conversations, when it comes to doing work, everyday things, business, buying cars, buying groceries, you know? Or even like the opportunity to be a translator in the situation. And just being, Yeah, and that's where I was like, you know what? I've tried Spanish so many times,
maybe if I focus on a different language, it will help me. And mind you, I'm not even close to this
Yeah.
because my hands don't work
Yeah,
the
you're
right
supposed to
way.
do it so fast.
And apparently, once you learn your alphabets, after that, it's not really focused on, like, if I had to talk to you, I wouldn't say, "Hey, Sydney,"
It'll
with
be
each and every
words.
word,
Yeah,
every
then
letter.
you have to learn the words.
Then I have to like kind of make the words and use a lot
so
of
then
hands.
it's like, why did you learn the alphabet?
I don't have a good
At least
reason
you
for
know
that.
it.
I don't have a good reason for that, but
It's like
that's what
the groundwork.
right, right. It's the groundwork to getting the conversations
Yeah.
going. Because like it is crazy when my friend like talks to me sometimes and he's like, let's try ASL, and we're just like, okay, and he does this whole big sentence and I'm like,
Yeah, that's
I don't
crazy.
know
That's
anything you
awesome.
said, but
That's awesome.
okay.
I'd be
Yeah,
impressed.
it is so hard. Like my M's, like my thumb has to be over here, but because of my fingers,
don't even know
my
if I'd
thumb
be
is not even
capable.
visible. Yeah, this your M.
This
Like you
is
gotta
M?
show it
Oh,
this way.
this
Yeah,
way?
yeah, and then two
Mine
fingers
looks
is N.
stupid.
Exactly. And apparently, when I was learning just the alphabets, after every end of the alphabet topics, there would be like this exercises for your hands.
Yeah.
And I was like always making fun of it. I'm like, why do I need hand exercise?
And then you were
Why
like,
do I need finger exercise? But then when I was learning the alphabets and when I had to actually say my name or read whatever action my name,
hands were hurting.
my hands would hurt, and then half of the time you can't even see M. Like, what is this?
Yeah.
This thing needs to be very visible.
Yeah, you gotta like stretch the fingers.
Right. I
That
know.
makes sense.
And for people who that is their main language, imagine how much misinterpretation they can have just because of your
People
one finger not being in the
doing
right
good.
place.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know? And I mean, we misinterpret stuff via text
Yeah,
all day
I know.
long.
Gosh, I know that's one thing I've always wondered. Like, do miscommunications happen
All the
when people are
time. I'm
signing?
sure they do.
And
I'm
how
sure they do.
drastic are they?
I don't know
You know?
because I've not been exposed to it like
Yeah.
that, or I have a lot of people in my life who either have learned ASL or are studying ASL, but I have very few to none. Like I have two people who actually use ASL on as a daily speech.
Yeah. I don't know anybody.
Like because that's their life.
Yeah.
But it's so much hard. Like sometimes I don't even feel confident enough to be
Yeah.
like, "Hey, girl, let's do this."
Yeah.
Because I'm like, "Oh my god, anything I say, I might offend you because I'm not
You're, like,
doing it right."
Yeah.
I get nervous about it, you know.
No. That's what, like, when I was learning Spanish and my friends who know Spanish would like try to talk to me. I'm like, please don't. I'm so scared and embarrassed.
Right, exactly. That's how I was.
I didn't do it in high school or anything. I know most people like take Spanish in high school. I took French.
Oh, I know how to introduce myself in French.
Goddamn waste of time.
Hi,
bonjour, je m'appelle Sydney.
Bonjour, je m'appelle Tahera.
Comment tu t'appelles?
I don't know what you said.
J'aime aller à la piscine.
I don't know what you said.
I said, what's your name? And I like to go to the swimming pool.
Oh, great! I should have guessed that. She does love doing that.
I love swimming. Yeah, that one stuck with me. I did learn a few things.
Let's rephrase that. She loves swimming in baby pools. Precisely. Deep waters, very afraid.
I used to be a lifeguard.
Deep waters, still afraid.
It's not so much the depth.
Deep waters.
But if I cannot see it, and are there fish? Are there living creatures?
I mean, in a swimming pool, no.
You don't know. You don't know these days.
I'll have a pool with a shark painted down there, and you always
That's
think
terrifying.
There's a shark.
I thought you were gonna say like imagine putting a shark in a pool.
Oh my god.
And just like having it
SeaWorld.
open for public swim.
SeaWorld. I mean, it's not open for public
torture.
But torture.
Wait, remember the episode that is gonna come next? It hasn't been posted yet, but it'll be by the time this is. And I asked you at the end. I think I don't know if I cut it out or not, but I said, "How do you feel about zoos?" And she thought I said Zeus. So I ended the video. I think I cropped it all out because I was like, "Oh my god!" She was like, "I'm neutral." I was like, "What? You're neutral on animal cruelty? Okay, T. That's a stance."
I still have no opinions on Zeus. Zeus, Zeus, Zeus.
I'm pretty neutral with most of the Greek gods. I
Yeah.
don't
You know, they had their times.
give or take.
They did their thing, and now we have our time. So now we're doing our thing.
Yeah, they've made their footprint.
Yeah, and we'll leave handprints.
Made lightning and stuff. I'm pretty sure that was like him. Yeah, no, but zoos. SeaWorld.
Zoos.
Can we all agree it's animal cruelty and it's bad?
Sure, yes. Yes, SeaWorld is. Yes, I agree with that.
It's all a problem.
I would rather have the orcas living in the Atlantic.
Yeah. This is
somewhere deep down in the water.
I'm vegetarian.
She is.
I love an animal. I don't hate on people who aren't. I'm not that vegetarian that's like screaming at all my friends.
Yeah, she won't yell at me
meat.
when I'm chowing down burger, but
I was hanging out with a guy who killed a pig. And I was like, oh, I love pigs.
Oh, too bad it's bacon now.
Yeah, but but the one thing where I do stand is I feel that if we're gonna consume meat, we should have to hunt for it ourselves.
Oh, great. So, FYI, before you marry her, think twice.
For many reasons. Not just that. Reasons. But, I feel that I feel that's the one thing that I'm very old fashioned about. Like I wanna live off my garden and the wild.
You see, gardening is different.
Well, I
now
don't
imagine
like,
me wanting a burger and you tell me go kill your own damn cow.
I feel you should.
And then how many more burgers do you want?
You'll have a ton and you'll get to freeze it for a very long time.
It's not gonna be fresh.
Well, that's your problem. Don't eat it then. We know we can survive off plants. But see, I don't care if people eat meat. What I really don't like is the giant plants where they're like inhumanely doing bad things.
Right.
And then a lot of it goes to waste. And a lot of them die and they get diseases because they're in horrible conditions.
That is true.
So then it's bad. It's the mass production of it that I don't like.
Yeah. Have you heard of halal meat? Like that's what Muslim people
I've heard of it, but I don't know what it means.
Yeah, halal meat is basically they butcher the animal in a rightful way.
Oh yes.
Before they consume it.
Maybe you've told this to me.
Yeah. It's like similar to what Jews do.
Yeah, so what's that look like?
So first of all,
gentle murder.
I mean, I feel like still murder.
Yeah.
So I don't know about gentle.
I wanted to ask. I wanted to say, how did you kill the pig?
I mean, number one, Muslims don't kill pigs.
You don't eat pigs.
We don't eat pigs.
Right.
But what they do is first, whatever animal.
Is it because pigs are cute?
No, it's because pigs back in the day used to be the source of diseases.
Yeah.
Because of their dirty lives and dirty garbage lives.
All animals. Okay, continue.
I mean, it is.
They're all gross.
It is. But on the other hand, you'll never see a cow or a goat or a chicken be all up in someone's trash and dirt and mud.
Yeah, pigs roll around in mud to cool down.
Correct.
To have fun.
Correct. That is their fun time. But she's a great advocate for pigs.
I love an animal. PETA.
PETA.
Sponsorship.
Cheers, PETA.
PETA sponsor us.
Cheers, PETA. But at the end of the day.
Yeah, we gotta wrap this.
I know, it's like 8:20.
Continue.
At the end of the day, they basically thank the animal that they're butchering. They pray for its life. And then they specifically cut a nerve on their neck that helps them bleed out.
Yeah.
And then they eat. Even fishes. We pray on a fish before a fish dies.
So sweet.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah, before it takes its last breath, we pray on it before we kill it.
It's a bit too much.
Keep it out of water
for too long. Too much detail for me.
I'm sorry.
The last breath is crazy, but
don't get emotional. But anyway,
I do eat fish. I'm technically pescatarian. Let me say that.
Right.
I'm a fake vegetarian.
Yeah, she's a fake vegetarian.
I don't know.
She can totally eat whatever the fuck she wants. But anyway,
I haven't eaten meat in like 7 years though.
By choice.
By choice.
Yeah, but on the other hand, long story short, they butcher the animals in a respectful way because they're giving
Yeah.
thanks to the animals.
Like, thank you for
saying,
nourishing me.
Thank you for
That's how we should
dying
all
so
be
I
doing
could feed
it.
my family.
Everybody should have to do that. And if you can't handle killing that animal yourself, then you shouldn't eat it.
I've done that, before.
Killed it.
Yeah,
What?
I had to stick the knife in the
what?
goat's throat when we were killing it.
How old were you?
I was like so young. I don't even remember how long. It was like 10, 11 years.
Did you feel some trauma from that?
I was on my terrace for like a whole day.
So yeah.
Yeah, I did. I was sad, and there was like blood everywhere, and like it squirts everywhere, and it was sad.
Oh.
But that was like the only first time, and simply because it happened at my own house, and that's why I got the opportunity to do it. Usually, it's the adults who do it. Like the adults or a butcher will be like, "Hey, I'm an expert. I know what to do.
Yeah.
You do your prayers, and I'm done."
I would have ran for the hills.
I think maybe if you start eating halal meat, you wouldn't
No.
feel as bad.
It was deeper than that for me. It got to the point where I would go to eat a burger and all I could think about was a cow's eyelashes.
Oh my god, lashes!
Like, cows have eyelashes.
They do,
and they're so cute.
But I don't understand what the T-bone steak has anything to do with
the way my brain works is I am associating what I am eating with the live sweet animal that I would pet and snuggle. In my world, any animal can be a house pet. So
and then I don't know who snuggles with a cow.
I would. Bring me a cow.
You need a big ass bed.
If someone's got a cow, bring it. I'll snuggle it on this pod. Next cow.
Not in my office.
PETA, seriously, call me.
Not in my office.
Call me. We'll go to a sanctuary and I'll just snuggle with all the animals, and that'll be it. That'll be the content
Going
that
to
we
a
do
sanctuary
from
is
here on
okay.
out.
Don't bring a cow here, because it'll make you feel a little bit better.
Plant-based burgers are good, man. I don't care
I
what anybody
haven't actually tried a plant-based burger. I've tried like those black bean burgers.
Oh no, they're
like,
not very good.
Beanie burgers.
The straight up like plant-based like soybean stuff is where it's at.
Mm.
You know that they are now. All right, this is where we're at. They're now coming out with. They found a way to take animal cells and create meat, so that they don't have to kill as many animals.
I feel like I'd seen a South Park episode of that.
It's real. They take real shit from that show and put it
right. Yeah,
it is real. Yeah, it's a thing that's like currently, and it's like experimental. I haven't seen anything publicized about, hey, this is lab grown meat, but I mean, I think it was a joke. Yeah, that's gonna drive me nuts. Going in your eyeball. I think it was a joke, but it was like celebrity meat.
Ooh.
And it was like we took DNA cells from your favorite celebrity and like made it into a cheeseburger, so you could eat your favorite.
I'm eating Brad Pitt. Cut it off. Okay,
all right.
Everybody.
Thank you
all for your time
and hanging out with us.
Yay, we love you. Bye.